Those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. If you got a bill one year, you will get it again. As Abba said, the history book on the shelf keeps repeating itself. Examine budget when events change. If figure of a bill goes up, reassess your budget to see where you can cut down. If you get a pay rise, increase old wage by inflation. Live on that. Anything above inflation can be put into savings for your peace of mind. You were used to living on less, so you will not miss it now. Increasing your expenses to match your income is a big reason for debt. Prioritize debts: rent, mortgages, electric, gas, loans, and so on. Put them in whatever order you think will hurt you the most if you have failed to pay them. Give yourself a reward every so often. This stops money management from being a pain and shows you what you are working towards. Talk to anyone you owe money to. If you cannot pay them, then come to an arrangement with them. If you do not, they could take action and charge you extra for doing it. Don't think, if I have not got it, then I cannot get it. There are attachment to earnings orders. Courts can demand money from your wages, and then everyone will know your business. Every time you apply for credit, your status is checked. This adds a black mark against your name. Do not let bills build up. You can cope with one bill, but if you leave it till there are few, you will have no money to get people off your back. There can be prompt payment savings on the bills. Sometimes. If you use a credit card for single items above £100, then you might be covered by insurance. Remember, the proverbial Jones are up to the eyes in debt. Do not try to keep up with the proverbial Jones. When buying something, ask yourself, do I really need it? And can I get it cheaper elsewhere? Do not pay 10 times more for a brand name. It could have been made in the same factory as a cheap one. Buy things out of season. T-shirts in winter, gloves and jumpers in summer, or save money for the sales. Cancel unnecessary insurance premiums. Check tax code. Number times 10 shows you your tax allowance. Claim back overpaid tax. Sell unwanted items. Check phone use. Look for best deal. Annual travel insurance can be cheaper if you travel many times over the year. Haggle with traders. Check bank statements. Cancel things you don't use. Remortgage house. Check out alternative bank accounts. Credit cards and utility power supplies. Stay single. When you go out someplace where you will not be able to keep track of your money, like Friday night down the pubs, put a set figure in your pocket before going out. When you wake up and the hangover is down enough, count the money remaining in your pockets. Take this amount from what you started with, and you now know how much has gone. This will not explain the strange rush you have, or who do you think is in bed? Instead of blowing your money on a one-night binge, when drinking, try a pacer instead of a chaser. You may be able to afford 4 nights out. Consider alternative lifestyle if you are spending too much on the one you have now. Walks in the country, using the library, swap and borrow off friends, an old hobby you long since forgot. Go running, get fit, shed pounds while saving pounds. Television, do a course to learn something useful. Take up singing or dancing, voluntary work, charity shops, meet new people. You have only one life, so find ways to make the most of things that are different from the life you don't really enjoy anyway. When you think your life is bad and you can't see life getting better, think about those worse off. The homeless you see on the streets were probably just like you until a disaster struck. The people of Africa don't cry for the latest television. They cry for a bowl of rice, clean water, and one more day of life for them and their children. When you talk about the rich, you mean millionaires. When some talk about the rich, they mean you. The man with no shoes should cry for the man with no feet. Cost of credit card. Annual percentage rate is the rate of interest you will pay each year on top of the money you have used through the credit card, loans and so on. But it is not that simple. Annual percentage rate divided by 12 equals monthly percentage rate, MPR. Balance owed multiplied by MPR equals balance owed next month. New balance owed multiplied by MPR equals balance owed next month. Repeat 12 times to get the true APR. This goes on and on till the debt is paid off. People think they are safe paying only the minimum. But remember, interest compounds monthly. When you apply for a credit card, it can be at a low rate for an introductory period. The real rate kicks in when spending money is easy. Interest charged on cashback from credit cards is higher than the APR on purchases. Keep notes and receipts of credit card purchases. Work out how much you spend. Get this amount of cash ready to pay the bill when it comes in. Check out if you could pay a card bill by direct debit each month. Make sure bank deducts full balance, not just minimum payment. Credit cards might give you 56 days before the interest kicks in, but by the second bill, 60 days will have passed into the time limit where you must pay the interest. Pay in the first month to avoid problems. When writing down your figures, make sure you put the correct figures into the correct credit card account if you use more than one card. Late payment fees can be charged and added to your balance owed. Restrict credit cards to basic 1 or 2. Avoid store cards. They could have higher interest rates. A store may accept your normal credit card. Pay off any balance owed. Before signing credit card slip, make sure that the total figure is correct. Some traders have filled in extra figures after the slip has been signed. To get out of credit card debt, work one line at a time, or it gets confusing. May work with other debts that include interest payments. 1. List all credit cards in order of highest to lowest APR. Highest debt is alternative. You may have a low APR, but a lot of debt on it, or a high APR with low debt adding on. As long as you keep paying the debt off, it should work either way. 2. Work out the most you can afford to pay off. 3. Work out minimum payment for each card from the second card on the list. 4. Add minimum payments together. 5. Take this answer from what you said you can afford. 6. The answer gives figure you can send towards first card balance. 7. Pay minimum from second card onwards, and the answer from 6 for the first card. 8. If you pay balance of first card, repeat with second card, then third card. 9. Repeat each month till all balances are paid. The lower the APR, the cheaper it could be for you if you use the card wisely. Zero interest cards for the first few months till the higher rate of interest kicks in. No interest. 0 on balance. Some people transfer the debt that is on other cards to a 0 interest card to take advantage of the rate, like a consolidated debt. The debt will eventually catch up with them. You do not pay the interest on the money you have transferred, but you will pay the interest on anything you buy with that card. As you are paying off the transfer debt first, the things you have bought are left to last. The interest on purchases builds up and compounds. The rate advertised may not be what you end up with. It could depend on your credit rating.